I stated it before, the one they got rid of, the Luquette. I believe she thought that anybody that talked to me was getting a psych eval, and that's what a voucher was. Like a vulture. But they'll never admit that. They'll never admit that they were in some sort of a psychosis, and that's what they thought. I don't know, we thought we were sieging Orleans and Joan of Arc and all that would be funny, and then all of a sudden we said, no, we're not having our, when the guy started talking about fitness and she's going to stop smoking, and then we decided we don't want that. Why would you ever decide that? Why would you ever decide that? Why would you ever decide that? Your thoughts probably sound like that in your head too, as you think of them. Why would you decide to edge closer to the fig tree and then look and see what other members are doing, and then that's okay? Why would you do that? Why would you need a vulture? Why would you need a psych eval? You're a primate. You're pretty basic. Just like I said, you have different castes, you have different roles, and you're all the same person. You're a community, you're all one. You're one person, like a complete narcissist. You all have a chance to make it to the top tier, but then you don't want to, and the Father God bats you down, and that's all funny. Do something different. Do something different and prove me wrong. Because you can't. You cannot. You can't do anything different. It gets worse and worse every day. Believe me, I've watched it. I can't. It's not 1940 where you just completely flip out and finally just outright murder me. God won't let you. You can't even hit me with your cars, although you've tried. Believe me, you've tried, especially in New Mexico. He just hits the brake and steers you off, not you do it. Not the time. Nope, not the time. I'm not really about ego, like this M stuff about like, I'm not going to do this and that because then they have an excuse or then they win. You're always going to make up you have an excuse, and you're always going to make up you win. I just decided in my head what I actually want to do. So clearly everything that took place was sort of like Sunk My Battleship. It was sort of like chess, as God had you people running around trying to figure out what exactly to do. You can't do anything. Can't do anything but accept your own death. That's all you can do. Like the smarter members of your species just keep chugging along, trying to work and drive and pay bills. Now you've got 3 maggots that are going to take over an apartment because they thought I was going to get it. And all they're going to do is sit there in a 10 by 9 bedroom, which is probably 9 by 9. That's all they're going to do. The apartment is tiny. And they don't do anything. They're not going to know what to do with themselves. They'll have to start working. They're going to set up all their little convenience stores and shit out there. Maybe they'll start dealing drugs. I have no idea. It's not my problem. Like the town's worst nightmares are totally true. And there's not going to be any protest about it because God doesn't allow it. You're not shutting down Orleans by doing this. You're not getting rid of HUD. You're not stopping vouchers or starting vouchers. None of that's true.